Terry Missy Beavers, a wife and mother of three, awoke on the morning of April 18th, 2016, as she headed to Creekside Church in Midlothian, Texas, to teach a 5 a.m. fitness class. What began as a typical morning ended in tragedy for the 45-year-old fitness instructor. A 911 call was placed a little after 5 a.m, indicating that Missy had been found brutally attacked and unresponsive inside the church. The caller, an attendee of a Camp Gladiator class, informed the 911 that Missy was dead. Investigators traced the crime scene, noting that several doors were damaged and shattered glass was found throughout the halls of the church. Initially, detectives believed that Missy had stumbled upon a robbery gone wrong, but what they later found out indicated something much more sinister had occurred. A search warrant obtained by law enforcement officers uncovered a surveillance camera that recorded the perimeter and selected areas within the church grounds. At 3:50 a.m, an individual appears dressed in full police tactile gear, walking slowly down the dark hallways. The assailant, whose gender and overall appearance is completely hidden, is seen casually opening and closing doors, smashing windows, and leisurely, at a slow pace, walking around. The individual appears to be wielding a hammer in his left hand and appears to have a distinct gait. The chilling footage indicated that Missy's murder was not a case of the wrong place, wrong time after all. It was now concluded that she was sought out and murdered, though the motive still remains a mystery. Brandon Beavers was called immediately after his wife's body was discovered, but was dismissed as a suspect as he was out of town. Cooperating with law enforcement, Mr. Beavers allowed them access to phone records, laptops, and any other means of communication to see if the answers lied within his wife's personal life. Text messages between him and his wife indicated that the two were struggling both in their marriage and financially. In addition, police uncovered some suggestive messages between Missy and a couple of male acquaintances. Their communication was deemed flirtatious and triggered a potential motive into her brutal murder. In one instant, a friend recalled to the police that Missy received a strange message from a man on LinkedIn only days before she was killed. Although the man's identity or the content of the message has not been publicly revealed, Missy was allegedly bothered by the exchange. Unfortunately, investigators found no evidence this individual was involved in a murder, despite the unfortunate timing in which it was sent. If the adulterous allegations weren't enough, speculations began to arise when her father-in-law, Randy Beavers, brought a bloody shirt to the dry cleaner only days after his daughter-in-law's death. Employees of the dry clean supercentre contacted the Midlothian police, in which a search warrant was obtained to gather the clothes. He claimed the blood came from their chihuahua, who was involved in a dogfight and had been injured. Although DNA testing supported his story, rumours began to swarm about his potential involvement in her murder. Web sleuths also noticed his walk was quite similar to that of the assailant in the video, mimicking the similar gait and unbalanced sway captured on camera. However, his alibi ultimately checked out, and he too was out of state on that fateful morning, leaving investigators at a dead end yet again. At a desperate attempt to get some leads on this horrendous murder, police released a potential piece of evidence to the public in January of 2017. Not only did they obtain surveillance from inside the church, but it appeared they had a video of a suspicious car taken from a store located adjacent to the crime scene. A silver Nissan Altima was identified only hours before Missy arrived at the church, slowly circling the car park and turning the headlights on and off. A bumper sticker is also seen on the back bumper of the car. However, detectives have been unable to identify its meaning. The appearance of the driver and the car's license plate are not clearly visible in the footage, leaving detectives without a proper ID. While it's unclear if there is a connection to the murder, the suspicious behaviour of the driver indicates they may at the very least have seen the murderer themselves while driving by. To date, the Missy Beavers case is still cold. While a new detective was announced to take lead on the case earlier this year, hundreds of tips have swarmed in without any leads. 3 young girls are left without a mother, and the town of Midlothian has not received any closure in this case. What transpired on the morning of April the 18th shocked the nation and left the country wondering, who killed Missy Beavers?